Good evening, I'm Hannah Steele. Tonight, we have a packed program covering global shakeups and controversies, an FBI raid on a U.S. election office, street protests erupting over immigration crackdowns, and President Trump's bold economic claims, all as midterm elections loom. In Europe, Britain's leader rewrites relations with China, while far-right upheaval rocks the Netherlands, and Bulgaria's president resigns ahead of a snap vote. In the Middle East, Israel buries its last Gaza hostage, a new armada sets sail toward Iran, and Hezbollah warns against any strike on Tehran's leadership. On Ukraine, Russia's Kremlin says it's invited President Zelensky to Moscow for peace talks even as the Pentagon plots new strategy. And at Davos and COP30, world leaders scramble to stabilize markets and climate cooperation amid warnings that no one power can solve global crises alone. Let's run through the headlines before diving in. U.S. FBI raid. Federal agents search Georgia's Fulton County election office, seizing ballots tied to Trump's 2020 fraud claims. Minnesota immigration clashes. Protests surged in Minneapolis after ICE agents fatally shot a U.S. citizen at a raid. Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar cites these killings in announcing a Minnesota governor bid. Trump economy pitch. At an Iowa rally, President Trump touted a booming economy and warned that a Democratic win would bring very bad things, even as discontent over living costs simmered. Dollar plunge. The U.S. dollar hit a four-year low as Trump welcomed the decline, and New York Fed data show bank lending picking up factors the Fed will weigh in its next rate decision. Starmer in China. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer flew to Beijing on the first UK-China summit in years, striking a visa waiver and $15 billion biotech deal, even as critics fret about security and rights issues. Unwarning, Secretary General Guterres warned that global problems won't be solved by one power calling the shots or by a two-block world. Middle East tensions. Israel buried its last hostage from the Gaza war, even as it vows a heavy hand in Gaza. Meanwhile, Israeli airlines are allowing cancellations amid threats of conflict with Iran. Hezbollah's leader said his group would defend Iran if the U.S. attacks Supreme Leader Khamenei. Ukraine peace push. The Kremlin said it formally invited President Zelensky to Moscow for peace talks, though Zelensky has rebuffed previous invites. U.S. Special Envoy Rubio confirmed that territory, especially Donetsk, is the main sticking point in U.S.-backed negotiations. Trump's peace board spurned. New Zealand declined an invitation to join President Trump's new Gaza Board of Peace, saying in its current form it has little value beyond the framework. Europe instability. In the Netherlands, 7 lawmakers quit Geert Wilders' far-right party, ripping up his hard opposition plans. In Bulgaria, pro-Western President Rumen Radev announced he will resign to run in snap elections, the first such presidential resignation in post-communist history. Tonight, we'll unpack these developments and more, probing the questions on everyone's mind. Why now? Who stands to gain or lose? And how might these crises reshape the future? U.S. politics and controversies. Back in the United States, political tensions are boiling over in multiple arenas. An FBI raid on Georgia's Fulton County election office has stunned observers. According to Reuters, agents executed a search warrant seizing computers and ballots related to the 2020 vote in a probe tied to baseless claims of fraud pushed by Donald Trump's team. Critics say this move under the current Trump administration reopens the wounds of the 2020 election. The Justice Department is effectively hunting phantom conspiracies about dead people voting. One analyst noted, calling the use of federal power a political moment. Congressional Democrats accuse the president of weaponizing law enforcement against political adversaries. The stunning questions: why target Fulton County now, 3 years after the election? And to what end? Republicans claim it's cleaning up alleged corruption, but no evidence has emerged.